Hello, folks. This story was sent to me by a subscriber and is intended for educational purposes only. Thank you for watching. 35. Neo DMT. I sneezed and became the sound of my own name. I was in my friend Manny's garage, which smelled like gasoline, lavender, and failed projects. The kind of place where old skateboards lean against tax documents. And there's always a half-assembled drone blinking suspiciously in the corner. Manny had acquired some 5 Neo DMT from a guy who claimed to have wrestled an angel in New Mexico. I didn't question it. The guy looked like he hadn't blinked in 3 years. He handed me the dose in a tiny crystal clear capsule and said, "You won't meet God, but God might meet you." Cool. Encouraging. We set up a beanbag throne in the middle of the garage and turned off the lights, except for one lamp that seemed overly interested in our conversation. I sat down, inhaled the vapor in one long pull, and exhaled. Everything was gone. No light, no dark, no me. I wasn't a person. I wasn't a soul. I was the idea of a sneeze hanging midair, paused in the eternal inhale. Then suddenly I exploded, violently, magnificently, into a trillion shimmering syllables. Each syllable was a piece of my name, but not the name I knew. This was the original name, the one I was given by the universe before birth, before atoms. I was this sound, stretched across dimensions like warm butter on a cosmic bagel. I don't know how long I was the name. It could have been 4 seconds, could have been 17 eons. I felt everything. I understood birdsong, static, Morse code, grief, vaporwave, the scent of a new car, all of it. I became the layer between music and silence, a vibrating truth woven from dental floss and starlight. Then the floor of reality opened like a trapdoor in an old cartoon. And I fell back into myself, but not my regular self. Oh no, I came back as a soft cube of sentience floating in a hot pink void. I had no limbs, but I could feel vibes. That's how I navigated. I floated toward a large, rotating vending machine labeled Emotions Stokti. Each row had different options. Nostalgia in C5, sudden panic in Atwu, the feeling of walking into a room and forgetting why you're there in D4. I pressed a glowing button labeled Regret, lightly salted, and instantly relived every bad haircut I'd ever had simultaneously. As I drifted onward, I encountered a traffic cop made entirely of balloons. He saluted me and asked for my license to exist. I didn't have one, but I offered him a piece of lint and a very sincere apology. He accepted, popped dramatically, and I was free to continue. I passed through a portal shaped like my grandmother's casserole dish, and found myself inside a board meeting being run by my childhood toys. Teddy, the bear, was the CFO, and Mr. Stretchy Lizard was flipping through PowerPoint slides with his tail. They all stopped and looked at me. "Do you even know what you are?" asked Teddy. I opened my mouth to answer, but instead of words, a stream of marbles poured out. Everyone nodded solemnly. Suddenly, I was falling through layers of IKEA instruction manuals, each one representing a previous lifetime. I saw myself as a medieval librarian who secretly hated books a failed inventor of edible neckties, and once, apparently, as a cloud who only existed for 7 minutes. It was humbling, but also kind of cool. At the bottom of this metaphysical filing cabinet was a tiny door labeled Maybe. I crawled through it and emerged in a room where all the people I'd ever forgotten were throwing me a surprise party. A guy I once met at a bus stop in 2013 handed me a cupcake and said, "You didn't wave back. It's okay. We forgive you now." I cried frosting tears and hugged him with my aura. Eventually, I became aware of a low buzzing, like the universe had a beehive in its pocket. The buzzing grew louder until it resolved into the unmistakable hum of Manny's garage lights. I opened my eyes. The beanbag had partially absorbed me. My hands were damp with what I hoped was just sweat. Manny was watching me like I had just come back from a job interview with a Yeti. I tried to speak, but the only thing I could manage was, I think I saw the letter Q blink at me. He nodded, like that made perfect sense. For the next 2 hours, I wandered around the backyard in a daze, convinced the lawn chairs were emotionally distant cousins. I told one of them I was sorry for missing its birthday. It forgave me. The moon looked too close, and definitely had opinions. I waved at it. It winked. I don't know what that means. When I finally came down, I realized my whole body felt like it had been rearranged by a committee of gentle chaos gremlins. My bones hummed in the key of E minor. My thoughts were neatly alphabetized. I felt simultaneously ancient and brand new, like I'd been hit with a metaphysical leaf blower and swept clean of petty concerns. The feeling didn't last, of course. The laundry still needed folding. Rent was still due. But for a brief moment, I understood. I understood that sometimes to remember what you are, you have to forget everything else. And sometimes that truth comes disguised as a sneeze that turns you into the sound of your own soul.